Get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. What's going on, guys? We got a lot to talk about this morning. Let's freaking get busy. We're going to talk some Bitcoin charts, some stock market charts. Right before the drop. You guys are like, really, Jordan? You're going to end the music right before the drop? What kind of evil soul are you? Hold on. Let me adjust this real quick. Let me adjust this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, we're cooking now. We're cooking now. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, yeah. There we go. We're cooking. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a fantastic morning on this Wednesday. All of us patiently sitting, waiting for the CPI to come out tomorrow, which hopefully gets out of this range. The first thing Maya said to me this morning was, I feel like every day is sort of this big event that it's going to do something, and it never does. And I was like, that's very true. But it's our only hope to get out of this range. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about some short-term charts. We got some longer-term charts, and let's talk some stock market charts because there are a lot of similarities to some previous markets where it's like, dude, this even though, you know, maybe if we're maybe being a little short-term bullish, which I'll show you in the charts as we kind of jump in here, is sort of the medium term looking a little sketch, right? Is the long term, let's say medium term looking a little sketch. We'll take a look. We'll take a look because there are some interesting fractals and there are some interesting, you guys know that you love fractals, but there are some interesting fractals and stuff going on the stock markets and stuff like that. That we'll talk about it this morning. What's going on? What's going on, B-Water? Good to see you, man. Let's go. What's going on, Neil? Neil's already in here. Calling each other plebs. It's happening. Hopefully we get some moves. Anyways, let's see what we got going on here, guys. So yesterday we were looking at a diamond pattern. It actually did break to the upside, but you guys know this morning there was that little wick, that little scam wick down to the downside. I saw everyone, a bunch of people got stopped out on that scam wick that came right back down and came back down to 18.9 this morning. Nice little scam. You gotta love those wicks, man. You gotta love the market makers using the wicks of death. You know, personally, the wicks of death come from both sides, both the longs and the shorts, but they came back down for those longs. You gotta freaking love it, and then they shoot it back up. Classic Bitcoin in a range. But sort of what I'm looking at now is sort of a similar pattern that Bitcoin was actually forming on the left side here. You guys can see here. This is on the hourly chart. Once again, do I care about super short-term time frames right now? Not really. They're going to do what they want to do, and I think a lot of people are sort of waiting for this event to happen tomorrow for sort of that bigger macro move. But at least for today, I'm still looking for that move to the upside, man. It seems to just be, taking its time with this, right? Sort of taking its time to get that move. But either way, to me, I'm looking at this as a little bit inverse head and shoulders, similar to what we had over here. We had that left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. We ended up breaking that to the upside, at least for a short-term move, back up to the top of the range before ultimately coming back down. And, is that what we're going to look at again? Are we going to see that short-term move up just to get Mario to go down the tube? All right? Are we going to get that short-term move up just to get Mario to go down the tube? Well, let's see. But we are sort of, making that same pattern again here at the downside, where we got the left shoulder, we got the head, and we got that right shoulder forming here on the bottom side of the support level, which we've held, once, twice, and 3 times. So just like I always say, at support, I'm going to be looking for long positions, not short positions. And that's kind of where we sit. Now, let's see, Clint. Please delete the red line, moving us up to 1975, please. Hey, man. please don't move the green line. We'll see, Clint. We'll see what happens, buddy. We'll see what happens, my man. But no, I am looking for that move up here still. I mean, we can't not get back above that 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. We keep going up to it and getting getting Doge bonked back to the downside, right? Back to the 50 EMA, Doge bonked. 50 EMA, Doge bonked. 50 EMA, Doge bonked. Doge bonked. Doge bonked. Doge bonked. Just getting Doge bonked below that 50 EMA. But if we can get back above that, technically speaking, if we want to go by, the little old technicals here, which, I'm not a big fan of measure moves, but if we were to do this, would give us a move back to like 19,476. Once again, not a big move, and I'm not expecting a massively volatile move until tomorrow. I think we for the most part, kind of mosey our way up. That's the way I'm looking at it. Because what do we know? The market makers are going to set up. So whatever the move that they portray is going to happen tomorrow, they're most likely going to set up today. And this leads me to my point that we'll talk about in a second, but still looking at this falling wedge to play out for Bitcoin. It actually had a nice retest. So we had lower lows, we had lower highs coming in. All right. And let me move this little squiggly line here. Let me move the little squiggly line for Clint, because Clint doesn't like the squiggly line, if you know what I mean. We did get that breakout. We did get the back test this morning. Now, what I'm waiting for is just that continuation, right? And right now we're finding some resistance here at this 19.2 level, and we need to break that. But if we can, I'm still liking this to play out for the upside move to possibly dump it tomorrow. And there's that indication of Bitcoin coiling up for that big move. The stock market's coiling up for that big move. Where is that going to play out this week? We'll talk about it, man. Let's see. Everyone's calling for lower, so it's going to go up. Everyone is calling for lower. But to be fair to everyone that's calling it lower, everyone's sort of been calling for lower for quite a while. I think most people at like 30K, I don't know. We can go back and look, but I think people have been bearish for a long time, and price continues to go lower. Even though the last 4 months we've been, sort of just building a base here at 19K. But anyways, guys, this is still my thought process throughout the day. I'm still looking for Bitcoin to come back up and take this 4-hour vector candle right here. Up to, I'm not expecting a massive move. I'm looking for like 19.7. and then from there we kind of do our thing, right? So I am expecting that upwards move. You guys can come hate me for it. The stock markets are coming up a little bit today. Mamba, I got you for GRT, my man.
Strap up, we're going to the moon.
I got you on GRT. Okay. What are the GRT FUD people saying? The GRT FUD. GRT was one of those coins that went nuts like for a little bit time frame in 2021 and then just decided to not do anything since then. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. By the way, guys, cheers on the coffee. We didn't do the coffee cheers today. So everyone put your glasses up. Give me that cheers for the coffee this morning, man, as we talk some BTC charts. But yeah, guys, that's my target right here. Going into tomorrow is this previous high and to take this 4-hour vector candle right there on this. And you got, look where that comes in. Also where the 200 EMA comes in on the 4-hour time frame. So a lot of confluence coming in right there at about 19,750. Let's wait to see if it plays out. Now, what goes into that today? Well, the S&P is trying to come up a little bit here. Let me actually bring it up on the 1-hour time frame. Actually, let's bring up the NASDAQ. NASDAQ should be good. Let's see. So the NASDAQ to open the markets, trying to come up a little bit. Will it have any juice? Will the NASDAQ get the juice today? Well, it hasn't had the juice in a long time, right? The NASDAQ just kind of continues to come down. But at least the futures did open green, and the market is opening green to start the move. Is that a good sign? A lot of times in the beginning of these markets, when you see that move one way, it usually it's a lot of times it goes the other way shortly after. But right now that is coming up. NASDAQ's coming up, S&P's coming up, and actually the DXY is also coming up. So it seems like it's one of those days where everything comes up. Everything, right? S&P, NASDAQ, DXY. The 10-year yields are actually going down today, which is actually pretty good. I do have to say. I do have to say myself. That is pretty good, man. Cheers on the coffee. Look at everyone. We got Breather. We got Bam Bam. We got Robert Chu in the chat with the coffee. Cheers to you guys, man. You guys know what coffee does to me. Right after I get off the stream, I do a little every single time, man. Every single time. All right, let's jump back into the chart here. So, what we were saying for the S&P. Right, and there's multiple things that we're kind of looking for here, guys. I'm not going to spend too much time on the shorter term time frames. Obviously, we know, and this is why this is such an important, this is such an important area for everything, right? Literally for everything in the world. This is such an important area. Obviously, we know Bitcoin. I'm not going to say it. I sound like a damn broken record. You guys, every time I say this, I sound like a damn broken record at this point, man. Okay? Alan said, my wife thinks you're annoying. She always tells me to turn you down, but I would rather listen to you than her any day. Listen, man. Do you hear the stuff that wives listen to? Okay? They listen to the most annoying shit. They listen to these girls go, oh, look at my outfit today. Look at my hair. I don't want to hear that shit, all right? Anyways, let's jump back into the charts here. And they watch frickin', I don't even know, Desperate Housewives. Oh, my man cheated on me. You think? Anyways, let's not get into that. Anyways, we know Bitcoin's coiling up, right? It's coiling up with a downtrend of resistance, horizontal support, okay? Your mind listens to serial killer stuff? True. So downtrend of resistance, horizontal support. We know that Bitcoin is projected to get a big move very, very freaking soon. We've been talking about this consistently, but that's not what I want to talk about today. We know this, right? We know this based off everything, that Bitcoin is projecting to get a big move within the next 2 weeks, okay? Within the next 2 weeks. So that's that. That's that. Within the next 2 weeks. We know that. Okay, we know that the BBWP on every time frame, the daily time frame, the 3-day time frame, the weekly time frame, which measures the volatility for Bitcoin, is extremely low and projected to get a big move any freaking day now. We've been saying this consistently, but it's true. Okay, volume falling off a cliff on any time frame, daily time frame, 3-day time frame, weekly time frame, falling off a cliff for Bitcoin since we came back down to this region on around September 22nd. Volume falling off a cliff as we're getting to this apex of this move, of this downtrend resistance horizontal support. Something's got to give here. Okay, we know this. Let's go back over to this time frame. What else do we know? Okay, what else do we know? Well, we know that if you look at Bitcoin, this price action right here, where we're getting this downtrend of resistance and horizontal support, reminds us a lot, a lot of back over here to 2018. And I know a lot of us longer term, maybe not longer term holders, but along with the people that want the price to go up now, don't want to look at a descending triangle and say there's a good chance that it breaks to the downside. I understand this, okay? We don't want to look at this chart and say, holy shit, this could happen. Now, even myself, sometimes I have to remind myself, okay, something like this could happen. Let's be patient here, okay? And that's why I stress caution going into tomorrow is, okay, we're talking about a short-term move up, but could that short-term move up just be setting up for a move to the downside? Just be very, very careful if we do see that pump today, all right? Be very, very careful. Why are we talking about this? Well, we know we have this descending triangle on Bitcoin. Technically speaking, that hasn't been good in Bitcoin's past, though you could draw it as a symmetrical triangle and say that we could get that move to the upside as well. Do I know which way it's going to go? I have no freaking clue, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I know which way. But I'm going to look at the possibilities that could happen based off previous times, okay? And what I do know is that a big move is coming. You guys might be thinking that's a meme at this point, but it is. It is. It is. Let's go to total market cap real quick. Let's go to total market cap real quick. So total market cap, I went back and I looked at all the times that I bring up the bear market resistance band, which is basically the 21-week EMA, the 20-week SMA. If you don't know, shout out to Ben Cowan. He was the creator of this. But what are we looking at here? I went back to total market cap and looked at all the times that we were sort of making this higher low and lower high structure on total market cap when we were underneath the bear market resistance band. And I went back and I looked and I did some observations, okay? And I found 5 times that it's really done this. And it happens to be either when you're at the bottom of the market or when you're one capitulation away from the bottom of the market. And I found it very fascinating. And it's a very fascinating idea because every time that we seem to do this, we sort of be stuck below it in this little symmetrical triangle. Guys, we get a big move, right? And we usually get it as we approach that bear market resistance band. So you can see right here, right? Just to give you guys an example, back in 2018, this was for the big crash in 2018. We were just getting coiled up, right? Coiled up. Price was getting coiled up on the weekly. We came up to that bear market resistance band, couldn't get back above it, insta-dumped. But on the flip side, 2018, right? Lower highs, higher lows. We were able to get back above it. That was obviously a big move. But you can see both times that resulted in a big explosive move either way, okay? And then we fast forward to this year. We've actually already had one of those times where this time we actually got a fake out, but we were making lower highs, higher lows. Boop, 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 boop. We were able to get back above it, but obviously that was a massive, massive drop. So I stress caution here, right? Because we're still below it. And that is not that far away. So here's my caution, is if we do get that move up today or into tomorrow, and it comes up like this, and all we do is tap that, just stress caution going into tomorrow, man, because that's been a time where you do see either that drop off or you see that move to the upside, okay? Just stress caution here. And I want you guys to pay attention going into the next 2 days because I do think this is coming, okay? And then obviously there was one other time back here in 2014, we're making lower highs, higher lows. We actually were able to get back above it. And that was a pretty decent move too. That was a move of about 50% to the upside as well. So there's been 5 times we kind of been in this, and every time we break out of this, it seems to be that, you know, we do get that more volatile move to the upside. And something's got to give, right? Something's got to give. As this comes down and support comes across, something's got to give here. Okay? Something's got to give. And this is what we've been talking about for quite a while now. It's just we're waiting for it to play out, you know? We're literally waiting for it to play out. The BBWP, man. What's going on? Brandon, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? Yeah, I generally agree, Brandon. This is the time to accumulate. I mean, I've been stressing that, you know, this is my chart. Basically, whenever Bitcoin's in this green box is a good time to DCA for me, and I'll continue to do it. I literally have it labeled right here. Below is accumulation. Whenever Bitcoin's in here and I'm feeling like I'm having a good day, I'll buy some Bitcoin. I'll buy some alts in this region. If it goes down another 50%, awesome, man. That doesn't bother me. I look at it as, Bitcoin's at 20K. If we pretend 20K is the new 6K, and it dropped, and just like in 6K, it dropped to 3K. Bitcoin drops to 10K now. That's the way I look at it. This is a great accumulation zone for me. I just stress be wary of a bigger move, and basically my point of today is make sure you're paying attention for the next 2 weeks, because I don't want you guys to miss out on a great opportunity to buy on a massive drop, and I don't want you guys to miss out on a big opportunity to basically take profits on a bigger move. I don't want you guys to see that big move, get an alert, and go, oh shit, look at that wick. And then by the time you look at it, it wicks up another 50% and you have to buy higher, right? So I want you guys to basically pay attention. Pay attention on that, That's really it. That's right. But in the zone is accumulation central to me, okay? Where I have my take profit levels. I'm not going to sell at that take profit levels anyways, so I don't care if it really goes lower. I'm not in the business of timing the freaking bottoms, all right? And that is that. That is that, man. Accumulation central, bro. Steve says the bottom is in. Nice, dude. Nice, dude. And another thing we've been talking about, guys, is the power of the 75s. From the bear market lows to the halving to the tops is always right around 75 weeks, okay? It's happened 4 times. From the bottom to the halving in 2016, it took 78 weeks. From the halving to the top, took 76 weeks. Okay. From the next bottom to the halving, took 75 weeks. From the halving to the top, took 77 weeks. Is it a coincidence? We'll find out. I don't think it is. It's quite interesting that 75 weeks from the next halving is literally coming up in the next 2 weeks. Okay, I don't think that's a coincidence. All these things are pointing to something happening very, very soon. Whether it's one more low or it's screw it, let's make everyone think that one more low is coming and start making our way slowly but surely and to the upside. Everything is pointing to that, but we just have to be ready for it here, man. We just have to be ready for it. That is coming up in about 2 weeks as well. Right, and the big thing I think that everyone's paying attention to right now and has everyone on the skirts is the S&P being at the 200-week moving average, right? Literally being at the 200-week moving average, and we know that every time it's broken that has been a very, very shady time for the S&P in its history. March of 2020, 2008, 2000. I'm not going to go over all the times. You guys know this. Whenever that's broken, you guys can bring it up on your charts. It's been an ugly time frame, and I'm seeing this fractal posted everywhere. Listen, this is not my fractal, guys. I've seen this posted, so if you saw someone else post this is not mine. But I'm seeing this fractal posted everywhere, and it's quite interesting because it kind of matches up with kind of what we're looking at here, and yeah. So basically, this is 2008. Look at the moves from 2008 on the S&P. Versus what we're getting now. And almost every move has happened the exact same way. It's actually very fascinating. And do I think we're going to drop, the S&P is going to drop to freaking 1,400? No. I don't think the S&P is going to drop to 1,400, man. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. But every move has happened the same way, right? Where you get that first little hump, you get the second hump, you get the second rise, you get this little rise, you get the bigger rise. Now we find ourselves right here, okay? And like we said, we're going to see that little short-term move back up to the resistance line to get the insta-dump. We'll find out, right? We'll find out. I think that's what everyone's kind of projecting something out like this. So will it happen? I don't know. But it's it's very similar. And I will gladly be ready to throw the fractal in the trash for this one. And no, this is not a penis. This is a trash for YouTube. YouTube thinks I draw penises, apparently. This is not a penis. This is a trash can. And I'll be ready to throw this in the trash if and when it does happen. So I will be very, very interested to see. Do I think this happens? No, I don't think you see this. But obviously, we'll continue to monitor this and have fun with it. As we kind of go along here. If this happened, I mean, the DXY probably going to like 200 or some shit. And we don't want that. We don't want that, right, guys? Where do I think the S&P is going to go? I'm basically looking at it like this. Let me bring up the S&P futures. S&P futures here real quick. Where do I think the S&P goes? I mean, in my opinion, I think we're gonna end up somehow, some way. I don't know what the wiggly woos and squiggly woos are gonna be. Either where this is the lows of the S&P right now. All right. Either this is the lows, or I think we make our way back down to like 3,200. Why? Yellow vector candle that hasn't been taken. Okay. And there's a lot of support and resistance coming in this green box, right? Resistance from right before the March of 2020 crash, and basically massive supports here from September and October of 2020. If the S&P can't hold this 200-week moving average, okay, which it's trying to now, it's tried its best to do it for 3 weeks now. If this doesn't hold, I see us going down here, okay? And I'm a big fan of if then this, and I get why people think it's going down here, okay? But if it does, that's just another opportunity, man. That's the way I look at it. Just another opportunity. I get why people think it's going down there, right? You look at, say, the VIX. The VIX hasn't got that spike up yet in volatility. Every major bottom on the stock markets has seen the VIX spike up to at least about this 40 region. We're at 34. We haven't seen that spike up yet. Do we have to see the volatility of the S&P come up before we see that stock market bottom? Well, we'll find out too. We'll find out too. And right now we're just in that patient zone where 18.4 to 24, and we're just sort of waiting it out, having fun with it, and doing really all we can do. Let's see. Let's see. Drew, exactly right. If then, there you go. You know it, Drew. You know what's up, man. You know what's up. You know what's up. Everything's probabilities. Everything's probabilities, right? Nothing's guaranteed. If everyone ever says, "Oh, this is 100% happening. This is 100% happening, man." No, it's not. Nothing's 100%. Everything's based on probabilities. Even if you're so confident in something, there's still that probably 5 to 10% chance that it's going to be wrong, right? And you can't pigeonhole yourself. It's all about risk. Everything's risk. And this is why people don't buy right now, because they feel it's too risky, right? They feel it's too risky. All really investment in trading is managing risk. People don't want to buy here because they think it's going to go to 10K, and buying here is too risky for them, okay? But if you flip your mindset in a long-term view, right here might not be too risky for you, okay? And at the same point, we drop down. And this is why I'm not a big fan of trying to time the bottoms, is like, if we do drop down to that 10K level, it's still going to be too risky for them. Why? Because the world's still going to look like shit. The charts are going to still look like shit. Nothing's going to change. So if they don't buy here, they're not going to buy right here. You know what I mean? It's human psychology. Everyone thinks it's so easy to buy at even if it's a local, even if this ends up being a local bottom, everyone thinks it's easy to buy. If it is, then why haven't you done it yet, right? And I get you think it's going to go lower, but you're always going to think it's going to go lower, But we'll see, right? We'll see when the market all shapes itself out, whenever it does, right? It could be 6 months, a year and a half, until we finally get resolution, and because you don't really know what the market. Obviously, you don't know what the market structure is going to be until it happens, but you don't really know what that true bomb is going to be until years down. You really don't know. Like, you didn't really know that the Bitcoin bottom here in the bear market in 2018. You didn't know this was the bottom until really, like, I would argue until like late 2020. You didn't really know, right? There always could have been that chance that it bled down further. You just had to take the risk, right? You had to take the risk down here. There was always a time here that this could have just went doo-doo-doo, right? And just bled down, made another lower low, and then came back up. But it's all about taking that risk, And I compare it to 6K, right? If you think it's going to go lower, and I completely get that situation. If you want to compare to us being like right here, that's cool, man. That's cool. Because if you look at where we were, there was only really 3 to 4 months where Bitcoin was actually below that level, right? Which is really this time period here. All the other time period was spent up here and kind of dilly-dallying around, right? And that's why I'm looking at, 20K as my bearish scenario, being like 6K in 2019. And I can't hate that. I can't hate that, man. I definitely can't hate that. So that's really my my speech for today. I was going nuts today. Holy moly, man. Half hour of just going nuts. Place your bets. Exactly. It is pretty much placing your bets, Placing your bets on what the long-term outcome is for crypto and really anything else, That's really that. Let's see. There was if you find 1 XRP a day with pocket change, then it won't matter anyway. Don't come at me, Ripple Maxis. Drew, don't be poking the XRP Maxis, man. Don't be poking them, man. We don't want that in here. I don't know if there's I don't think I have. I don't think I have too many XRP Maxis in this chat right now. I think the XRP Maxis are generally not in this chat. Is there any XRP Maxis that are in the chat right now? Let me know. I don't actually think that there is, to be honest. I don't think that there is. All right, right now the market's still just chilling, guys. Really, it's still just chilling. I kind of did my speech for today. Right now, listen, if you want me to be honest with you guys, I can see the market going really either way. And that's why I told you guys, medium term, I'm a little bit neutral. Long term, I'm bullish. Still stacking in my accumulation zone. But medium term, aka the next 1, 2, 3 months, I'm a little bit neutral here, to be honest. There's charts that show downside. There's obviously still some bullish things on the charts, right? Whether you're still at support at the end of the day, you can't get too bearish at support. There's still bullish divergence on the weekly. You can't get too bearish when there's bullish divergence on the weekly. I can see both sides in the medium term, right? But long term, still bullish. I'm still going to accumulate, and right now we're in that waiting game to see which side plays out, and I do think it's going to happen sooner than later, and man, we keep chugging along, and we keep chugging our coffees to get us hyped up for whenever it happens, so we can start partying or for some of you guys crying and all that stuff, and we wait, right? We wait. Politician said, I have an ETH. Nice, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Having ETH is a good day, man. It's a good day. Speaking of ETH, let's check out ETH real quick. ETH did break that trend line to the downside. Are we looking at the daily time frame, guys? It did have this upward sloping trend line. It did break that to the downside, finding resistance on the short term. The bullish scenario, obviously, ETH can get back over this and start making it make its way back up. But right now, it is finding resistance on that previous support. So at the end of the day, like I always like to say, ETH went down to the green box of support. What do you do when ETH goes to the green box? You don't short the green box. You don't short support like an idiot, okay? You long support. And if you did that again, guess what, numbnuts? I'm totally kidding. Some people think I'm serious sometimes. I'm totally kidding. Guess what? You long the green box again, you're up. It's like magical cookie beans, Like, holy moly, you long support and you're up. You short resistance and you're up. Holy moly, man! Woo! It's like you're cooking up a recipe, But overall, guys, I mean, you zoom out on ETH, okay? Previous resistance, flipping into support. It's still at support. It's in a big range, right? I mean, at the end of the day, there's not really much else to say to ETH besides you're at support. You have resistance up here. And you're stuck in between going down, up, down, up, down, up. And that's until you see a range resolution out of this on the daily time frame and up. You're sort of you're waiting it out, right? You're waiting it out. Now, you could drop to the 4 hour and find something, But, am I terribly worried about these short-term time frames? Not really. At the moment, The move already kind of happened here. And unless we get a pull back to the green box again, I'm not really looking for anything on ETH here. Let me see. Yeah, there's not really any pattern or anything on ETH on sort of that short-term time frames. It's really just, if you really want to look at something, okay, can we break this downtrend of resistance? If we can, kind of lines up with us breaking this previous support, right? So here we are, another range on ETH, and one that we hope breaks to the upside, but obviously, could really break either direction here as we kind of await till tomorrow, right? I'm not really touching anything until we get the news tomorrow, man. Personally, as far as trades goes, do I think we go up in the short term here? Yes, but going into tomorrow, I'm not going to want to be holding any trades open personally. So I will pass. I will gladly pass on that one, my man. Let's see. Drew said we had a genius talking about shorting support earlier. Nice, dude. See, Jordan, I don't hate ETH. I'm just trolling you. Drew, I know you guys. You guys love to troll me, man. I know Drew loves to troll me. Who else loves to troll me? Neil loves to troll me. Mike, if he's in here, loves to troll me. Waterfly loves to troll me. Who else loves to troll? Who else does? Let's see. Brandon, you don't like Bitcoin, man? I'm shocked, bro. He sucks. Wayne said I try to troll you. Wayne, that means you're just a nice troll, you know? If I don't notice you, that means you're too nice. You're not taking it out on me, you know? Because you gotta understand, I've been doing this a long time now. I think I've seen every single troll in the chat possible, and I'm someone who's always looking at the chat, right? There's a lot of other streamers who don't really look at the chat the whole time. I'm constantly looking at the chat. So I've seen every troll that there possibly could be. Like when you guys see me looking like this, that means I'm looking at the chat, which is most of the time. This is me looking at the camera. This is me looking at the chat. I've seen every troll possible, you know? So nothing can faze me. You guys will come up with something every now and then that gets me going. But besides that, not really. One other thing that I had here, and this is actually from Becker. Shout out to Becker, but there's a lot of people looking at this. Shout out to Becker, man. I did not find this chart. Whenever I don't find something, I'll give a shout out. Okay, so right here, this is basically the S&P against the money supply chart. Okay, and I know multiple people look at this, but I was looking at this and I find this quite interesting. And he was kind of saying the same thing: is if you actually look at where we are, where the S&P is versus how much our money has devalued over time, you could see that everyone thinks we had this giant bull market, but in reality, the S&P is at the same point. If you take into effect of the dollar losing value, we're actually at the same point that we were in like 2001 to 2003, which basically means that the generation now is getting effed. Thinking that everyone's like, oh my god, we're in this giant bull market, but we're really not. That just means our dollar has gone down in so much value, right? And I find it quite interesting that this is kind of what the chart looks like if you take into account the money supply, right, on the S&P, which it really hasn't done shit. You think it has? You look at the chart and you go, oh my god, giant bull market, but it's really just gone sideways, right? You really haven't gained shit. Your mind thinks you've gained shit, but you haven't. You really haven't. It's quite funny. And that's why I love crypto, because the stock markets since 2000 have actually lost you value against the dollar. Actually. But crypto has significantly outpaced the dollar. Okay? Even when you take into account money supply. So, yeah. I thought this was quite interesting. And if you actually look at it, is this actually kind of forming a little bit? This might be a little bit of, obviously a little bit of hopium here, but is this kind of forming a little bit inverse head and shoulders? You get a little left shoulder, a little head. We all like a little head. Little left shoulder, little head, and we got a little right shoulder maybe forming over here. It's quite interesting, man. It's quite freaking interesting. Let's see where this plays out, but I thought this, Becker posted this on Twitter. I thought this was pretty interesting for sure. Just wanted to point that out. Man, hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? So if everyone who loves the stock market, there you go, man. Congratulations. You are literally broke even since 2000. Congratulations. Good day to you. What's going on, man? Ned, what's going on, buddy? Long-time subscriber. I've appreciated your insight and madness throughout this wild past year and a half. Cheers, brother. Hey, man. Listen, I'm no smarter than you. I'm a general pleb here that just likes to look at charts and have a little fun in the meantime. And that's all we can do during this time, especially, right? But what I know is these times will be awesome because I know everyone who is in the chat right now, I'm pretty confident will be here whenever the market starts going back up, bearing some life circumstances and things like that. But I'm pretty sure everyone who's in the chat that I see right now will be here because that means you guys are pretty hardcore crypto fans, you know? And you guys will be here. So the good thing is now we go through these times together, right? These times where we're all waiting for either lows, we're waiting to accumulate, and we're waiting to just stack as much crypto as possible. For when the market goes back up, we can party like the USA while we watch everyone else asking if they should buy in the chat and all the fun times, you know? The best thing, I told you guys, the best thing is taking advantage of the lows when everyone else was too scared and then sitting back like this, you know, while the market's going back up, watching everyone else asking you should buy. And then when you get close to the top, everyone calling you lucky and then rinse and repeat all over again, right? There's nothing better than that. So I know all you guys will be here. And that's what's exciting to me is, yeah, we're bored. Yeah. These times suck. Yeah, could be a little bit till that happens, but we're all here. We're all here. And I think that's what's important is not necessarily watching every stream, but just paying attention to crypto, right? That's really it. That's really it, man. Was it 1025? All right, 1025. I think I talked about pretty much everything. There's not too many altcoins that are really doing much right now. I can look at a few alts. If there's any alts you guys want to look at, just let me know. I'll bust through a few alts. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. Mamba wanted GRT. Let me look at GRT for Mamba real quick. Let me see GRT. Where's the GRT fudders at? Let's see. What is this GRT FUD people saying? I haven't seen any GRT FUD, man. I'll have to look that up after the stream. I haven't seen a GRT FUD, but GRT, I mean, it's just kind of like everything else right now. All right, let's get rid of this. It's actually very similar chart to BTC, right? You got this downward sloping resistance from May, okay? And you're coming across here as support. And something's got to give here. I mean, this one's got a little bit more room to work with, but something's basically got to give. All right, well, you're right at support. Once again, if you believe that crypto's not going lower, this is the best possible time you could buy if you believe that Bitcoin's not going lower. Okay, if you do, well, I mean, I think the only way we can really look at this is a descending triangle. It is a bearish pattern. Okay, and if you look left, there's not really a ton going on here, man. Right? There's not really a ton going on looking left over here. You know, so you're sort of just in the wild, you know, kind of looking for that next move. I would say the only thing you can really do is maybe look at a Fibonacci level like this, where if Bitcoin does have one more major drop, you look at this 1.618 fib down at, 4 cents, which is like a 50% drop from here, which sounds crazy, but you got to understand, like, altcoins can move quick. Right? I mean, look at this last drop for GRT. It dropped from 30 cents to 8 cents, which was a 70% drop, right? So what's another 50% among friends? Doesn't take a lot to do that. So yeah, that's where I would look. There's not a lot of support looking left. But like I said, if you're under the assumption that Bitcoin's bottomed, I'm not going to tell you what you guys should think. Then you can't get a better opportunity than this at the moment. It is what it is, you know? But if you don't, 4 cents, I'd be looking at for GRT, man. Unfortunately, Bitcoin's still moseying its way for that little upside move today. I'm pretty confident on this upside move today. Obviously, yeah, man, it's obviously right now. I think people are a little skittish going into tomorrow, but let me see what you guys are saying as far as alts here, man. The bottom dwellers, bro. You gotta love the bottom dwellers, bro. Let's look at Near for Neil. Neil, I'm gonna look at Near for you. Can you be a little nice to me though? Just kidding. You're always nice to me, Neil. You're just a little bit of a troll. It's okay. We could all be. I'm a troll too. Like I can't hate. I'm a troll, man. I think I'm one of the bigger trolls. What do you guys think? Am I a troll or no? Let me know in the chat. I'm just gonna bust through some of these. Near. Man, our little wedge broke to the downside, but look at all these alts. They're all in the same position where you're at your big macro local support, right? I mean, this is it. This is the level to hold here. All right, and if this can get a move back up, we all of a sudden got a giant W formation, but we got to see this find some support. Now, the daily RSI is getting oversold, which is a good sign when you're at support and the daily RSI is getting pretty low. Doesn't mean it can't go lower. Like this can go significantly lower. But here you are, right? Sitting here at support, daily RSI is getting pretty oversold. It's just a matter of, is this support gonna hold when Bitcoin does have its big move? If it doesn't, I think you could be getting, you could be looking at the 230 mark for near, man, you know. But same type of deal. If you believe the Bitcoin bottom is in, this is the time to accumulate near. This is the time, man. This is it. This is it. This is it, man. And near's already kind of had that almost 100% move from this point before. So let's see. Let's see what we get. And I know I told you guys yesterday that near is one of my biggest accumulations for the past week or two. It is basically in this range here. So let's see what happens. Can near drop to 230? Absolutely. Don't think it can. Don't think it can. Because as soon as you think it can't, that's when it will. You know? So that is near. I saw someone asked for BNB. BNB. BNB broke the wedgie to the upside. Couldn't get back above that local resistance and sort of came back down here. So I'm going to nullify that. Now, obviously, at this point, it looks like it's going to make its way back down to this level here. Back down to like 261, 263, somewhere in this range where it's got a couple bounces in the past. Really looking for this range, man. I'm not looking... Listen, right now, guys, I'm not a big fan of, let's look at this. Let's look at this. I'm looking for supports to either, get some good long positions in or to accumulate some altcoins. And that's really it, So 260, 263, if that doesn't hold, we're coming back down here to 240. But the good thing about BNB, I guess you could say the bad thing about BNB, right, because it has more downside potential, is it's so far away from its lows. Where if you did accumulate down here, you're already up a good amount where you can kind of stomach this. But that also can be, it can drop a lot harder because it's so much higher than everything else. But, it's you're going to find this the case in a lot of different alts, right? I mean, you could jump through them, right? Matic's very similar to BNB. Matic probably looks like it's coming back down to like the 76 range, But, you can find it. ADA... Right, ADA obviously broke support yesterday. A lot of fun on ADA. Holy shit, look at ADA. Back down to 39 cents. Man, listen, if you like ADA and you think that Bitcoin is bottomed, this is the point to grab some ADA. If you don't, 33 cents is incoming. 33 cents is incoming for Captain ADA. And it is what it is. Let me find actually, there's probably an interesting trend line coming across. Yeah. I mean, based off this little downwards channel, could I see ADA drop to this like 33 cent level? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely if you just want to go based off trend lines, So, let's see. ADA's below support, and there it goes. There it goes, man. Kaboop! Back down. Let's see. Thanks, Jordan. I've been watching BNB close. Yeah, BNB is one I got to up my position in. I don't have actually any BNB. So I got to up my position at BNB at some point. But it's like I'm always like, I want to get this coin. I want to get this. I want to get this. And then it's but by the time the market starts going back up, I own like freaking 50 coins, and it's like, bro, do I really need every single one of these? No. Why am I doing this to myself? I told myself I'm going to stick to like 10, and I don't think that's going to happen at this point. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. What do you think about Atom? I think Atom's a good long-term hold, man. That's another one where I'm like, I got to up my position in. But I don't want to be like too... I don't think you can ever be too diversified, but... Because in crypto, like, you can say you can be too diversified, but you got to understand is, it's not like the lottery. Like in a bull market, most things are going to go up in value. It's about finding the ones that are going to crush everything else, right? The more you own, obviously, the higher chance you have of hitting on that 100x plus coin, you know. I don't know. You could argue either way, where it's actually good to be like super diversified, and you can argue that it's bad to be super diversified. You could argue either way. I think they both have their pros and cons. Really, I hate having a bunch of coinage. Yeah, it's just messy, man. It's just nice when you have like this little portfolio, you know, 5 to 10 coins, and you kind of just watch them, and it's super easy. When you have like 20, 30, 40, it's like, dude, come on, man. This is ridiculous at this point. All right, Adam's a good long-term hold, man. I don't see anything wrong with Adam, bro. Now, obviously, for the short term, it did break trend. It was crushing. While the whole market was sort of struggling, Adam was crushing it to the upside. And I think that shows the strength in the project, that in bearish or sideways times, it can still do a 5x to the upside, right? And there's many projects that have done that, right? Adam's done that. Uniswap killed it to the upside. Matic killed it to the upside. And I think the ones that have been killing it to the upside the last few months are probably the ones you got to look at for accumulation, because that shows the strength, right? And there's many like that. It was really like Atom, Uni, Matic. What else did really, really well? You could argue B&B did really, really well. What else did really, really well? Freaking Near did really, really well, right? There's many ones that did really well. And there's ones that have struggled, right? Ada, what else has kind of struggled here? AVAX has struggled. You can go down the list of ones that have struggled. But as far as Atom, I'd say short term, just be a little cautious. Like if this support breaks, I mean, obviously we're looking for the next support level back down at. Let's not get too fancy here. We'll keep it at $10. But yeah, Chili's has killed it. You know, Chili's has freaking killed it. Link was generally holding the range. Link didn't do too bad. You know, Link didn't do too bad. But you know, could I see Atom drop to $10 here? Sure. Is that going to make you cry? Well, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but yeah, Atom's not too bad. Bitcoin's still just holding the range. Let's see Gala. Let's do Gala real quick. Gala's back down in support here. So same type of deal. It's Gala's another one that's back down at the range lows. It depends on what is your thinking here for Bitcoin, and that's going to depend on if you think that Gala is going to be a good accumulation in this zone, right? That's the deal. If you think Bitcoin's done, this could be a good point to get some Gala. Could it drop more? Yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin drops to the mid 18Ks again, Gala will probably break support and we'll be back down. That's the thing with low caps, man. The low caps, when Bitcoin drops, they're going to get crushed. But it's also the same point to the upside. When Bitcoin has actual strength, they're going to do super, super well. It's a trade-off, you know? So could Gala, I mean, listen, I own Gala. Gala is one of the low caps that I do own. Am I prepared for Gala to drop another 50+%? Yeah, I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool with it. Man. And when you own those like ones that are out of the top 100, you got to be okay with them dropping significantly. You got to be okay with it. ADA is the influence coin. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Ethereum Classic. Let's do it. Let's do ETH Classic, man. Let's just jump through, and then we'll kind of call it a morning stream here, and we'll reconvene for later, which I think later is just going to be a preparation for tomorrow morning, you know? What are the market makers going to do today? Are they going to just have it go sideways all day? Make the bulls and bears contemplate on what's going to happen tomorrow? Or are they going to bring it up for a dump tomorrow? Are they going to dump it for a rise tomorrow? What are they going to do? What are they going to do tonight? Or really throughout the day today? Right now, so far, you haven't really seen a nothing burger, which is sort of the whole crypto market, I guess. All right, let's look at ETH Classic. So ETH Classic, I mean, to be fair, also sits at a pretty big support level, right? At least since really all of 2022, this has been such a massive level, right? This is the swing level here. Support, turn into resistance, turn into support again. So you can see how big this general range has been. ETH Classic, daily RSI is oversold, right? Is that the end-all, be-all? Am I a huge fan of using indicators for an absolute certainty? No. But when I see something at support with the RSI oversold, gives me a little indication that, okay, this could be a point where you see a short-term bounce, okay? Now, obviously, it's if this happens and this, if this happens and this. Obviously, if you put a long position here, don't forget to use stop losses. People don't use stop losses too much, man. But, if that does break, same deal. Same deal, man. This seems like a pretty big area for a drop if ETH Classic drops. Is right at this right at this 1850 range, 1850 to 18 range, right back there. As if we do see a drop tomorrow. But this is a range where I would have to look for a bounce. Right? I want to get bearish at support. Getting bearish at support is super, super easy, right? Chart looks super bad, red candles everywhere. But here we are, sitting right here, man. And it's got to grind it out at support. It always grinds it out at support. It grinds. It grinds it like a little grimer, But we'll see. We'll see. Ethereum Classic, man. I want to buy some Ethereum Classic. I want to buy some Ethereum Classic, man. Need the KY for tomorrow. Preparation for H tomorrow. What do you guys think is going to happen tomorrow? Let me do a quick poll real quick. We'll do the poll now, and then we'll do the poll tonight based off the price action that happens today, and I'll ask you guys the same question. What will happen tomorrow for Bitcoin? Let's do this. Let's do complete sideways. Let's do 1 plus, let's actually do 2+% green or 2+% red. Let's do this. Let me ask you guys. And I will say, what will happen tomorrow for Bitcoin? Complete sideways, 2+% green, or 2+% red. Let me know. Let me know the poll, man. And then we'll ask the same question tonight based off the price action and see if everyone's answers are different. We'll see. Strap up, we're going to the moon. The sun will come up tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar there will be sun. Bet your bottom dollar is tomorrow. You know that song? Bet your bottom dollar it's tomorrow. How's the song go? I don't know the rest of the song. It is a good song, though. It is. All the above? What will it close? What will it close, man? Seems like it's pretty 50-50, right? No one's guessing sideways. It seems like most people, it's pretty 50-50 on 2+% green, 2+% red here. All the above. Pump, dump, sideways. Sideways, pump, dump. Pump, sideways, dump. One of them. One of them, man. One of them. Tomorrow. You're not supposed to be a singing, sir. Sorry, Drew. Sorry. Don't mean to piss off your coworkers or girlfriend, wherever you're at, man. Oh, yeah. It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. All right, guys. On that note, seems like it's pretty 50-50 on this poll. 2+% green, actually. Wow. I'm shocked at the poll. So, seems like most people are projecting some volatility for Bitcoin tomorrow. So, we'll see what happens. I'm going to call it a morning stream today here. I'll catch you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, where we'll see where we end up. I'd say be prepared for really anything today. And I think today's move could be setting up the move for tomorrow, whatever that ends up being, right? So, catch you guys later. The only thing I would do, don't pay to say crypto, most well, don't pay to say crypto, and don't be afraid to take profits in the bear market rallies until proven otherwise. Adios, my friends. Just chill. Chill out, man. Chill out. Don't be staring at the charts, even though I will, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what do you got? You guys said something in the chat. AJB became a member. Ned became a member. Appreciate you guys. Politics said, hey, Jordan, do you think the over-leveraging on the short side, everyone say she gonna go down? I think that was actually more longs, no? Last time I looked. I could be wrong on that now, though. And everyone, to be fair, everyone say it's gonna go down, and it keeps going down. Or not that it keeps going down, but it just goes sideways, right? So if that's an indication of anything, you know. All right, later, guys. See you.